Fellow Nigerians, allow me to offer some thoughts following, of course, the very grave events that Nigeria witnessed since October 2020. The violence has come and gone, but the aftermath is still very much with us. People continue to comment. Government started to take some actions. Some of them do not actually meet the expectations of the people. For instance, the address of the president was considered essentially an affront on the people instead of actually assuaging the pains of the populace. We hope that the government will have a rethink in actually doing the needful and easing the pains of Nigerians. Before I return to the issue of governments, I want to quickly comment on the comments of Nigerians, fellow Nigerians. I listened to some audios that were very depressing, particularly audios that put blame squarely on the youths that were protesting peacefully. I listened to some recordings. Unfortunately, those people did not append their names on their recordings. They didn't put their names on the audios. However, at least I got the gist of what they said, but I do hope they get to listen to this recording. What they said was irresponsible. What they said was insensitive. What they said did not reflect that they are mothers or fathers, because the audios were made by both men and women. I listened to at least a couple. The gist of their statements is that the youth protesting, that they overstretched their protest, that they stayed too long, that they should have stopped, when there was so much applause for what they were doing. But the question to ask is, the youths that were protesting peacefully, are they responsible for the violence visited on them? Did they carry arms? Did they go to vandalize people's homes? Did they attack state operatives? Did they draw the flank of, soldiers who opened fires on them? Are the youths responsible for the irresponsible leaders who deployed troops to open fire on them? Are the youths in control of the thugs and hoodlums who went on rampage, using the guise of the protest to unleash mayhem on the society? Are the political elites not responsible for using the thugs as tools in their own hands to settle vendettas and also to do all kinds of havocs? I call them Amo Kunshika, those who hide under the cloak of darkness to do evil, to perpetrate evil. It is so unfortunate that men and women will care about bread and butter and not care about lives lost. You care about property looted. I know it's bad for, people to lose their livelihood. It's bad for homes to be ransacked. It's bad for businesses to be vandalized. But those are not irreparable situations. Death is final. People who died is final. You can bring them back. That's how grave it is. And you are trading commodities, objects, property. You are trading that for human lives. That's so unfortunate. It is very, very unfortunate for those who made those statements. I'm ashamed, to call them Nigerians. I'm ashamed to even, think that they are parents, if they are parents. Orosheniwo, Kali Menito Feni. Let something happen to you. He who feels it knows it. He who feels it knows it. Now, for the interventions that government has started, it's not enough. You cannot rebrand a bad product and say, okay, let me change the package so that it will look appealing, so that buyers will buy them. We should put a caveat on it. Buyers beware. Whether SARS or SWAT, something you've been rebranding like forever, for years back, since 2017, or even before that time. How can it be good? If a foundation is bad, if you build, no matter how magnificent the materials you use to rebuild on it, if you don't treat the foundation, it's going to cascade, it's going to just, fall apart. So the answer to end SARS is not SWOT. You cannot be swapping SARS with SWOT. The answers to end SARS is to discard the whole system. Let go those corrupt policemen, those people who you said they've been, I even heard, that they were trained abroad. If indeed what they've been trained to do is to mess up the society, then that's not what we need in Nigeria. You cannot use such people to police the state. No, you cannot. These are bandits. And until they prove otherwise, our eyes and our ears will continue to consider them as bandits. In fact, they should take the pejorative names that you are giving the thugs on the streets. They should swap places with them, because how are they different? Anyway, concerning the interventions, it's good that the judicial panel has been set up in different states of the Federation to look into, of course, the grievances of the people, to listen to cases not heard before come to light. It's good. It's a step towards restorative justice, but it will be actually restorative justice if the people who are actually harmed, who have been brutalized, who have been traumatized, if they are not made to go through the process in a very strenuous way, if the process is not prolonged. It is easy for judicial panels to wear people out. And the weak is usually the ones that are easily worn out, not the people who have the system that empowers them. So the power equation is not balanced. Unless somebody is critically, or the people appointed on the panel, they are critically looking out for the safety and ensuring that the voices of the vulnerable are actually appropriately heard, and they are given, enough covering and support, I do not see how that judicial panel is going to solve the problem. Also, for those who have lost their lives, how is that judicial panel going to address their cases? Members of their families will be suffering double jeopardy. They've lost people, but then they now have to frequent the panel going back and forth. They also have to fear for their lives, because there's no guarantee that those people, there will be no reprisal attacks on them. How are we sure? How are we sure that there will be no reprisal attacks on the people? In a country where even the police cannot guarantee your safety, and then you happen to be looked at as if you are a snitch. When you're actually airing the grievances that people have visited on you, you are considered as an enemy. And then you are allowed to go back to your home. Where is the safety for them? Are they given a protection? Is there a protective place like people will give a witness protection space? No, they go back to their homes. How are they going to be safe? It is serious. It's a serious case. So it's not something that can be, judicial panels, it's like, well, it's just an intervention that has this, so many precarious problems around it. And I'm not sure the mechanism is in place to ensure the safety of the people. That's just my take about that. Two, where is the end, to the struggle? Where is the response to the struggle of the youths? NSAS is actually one leg of many, many problems that had beset that nation. Nigeria was like, and I believe it's still very much like a country sitting on kegs of gunpowder, exploding here and there. The sporadic violence is evidence of the explosion. There is problem in the land. People are angry, people are hungry, people are traumatized, people are disgruntled, people are drained emotionally, physically, in any way. How can you resolve those problems with the judicial panel? So the troubleshooting should also concern the political elites. These are the people that majority of Nigerians look at that they are angry with because they have messed up the system. They have not provided the government that the people want. Governance is like a mirage in Nigeria. The infrastructure is not there. And then these people smile home to the banks. They are busy flaunting their filthy lucre. They are busy flaunting their wealth on the face of the population. That is not the way to solve the problem. Those who are looting the system, they really must stop. One, those who are drawing unnecessarily large salaries, fat salaries, unspeakable amounts of emoluments, they must give that up. They must give that up because there are so many ways in which such monies can be used to improve the livelihoods of the average Nigerian. Whether it's the school system you want to look at, whether it's the health system you want to look at, whether it's even security you want to look at. Every sector, even food security, every sector needs help in Nigeria. So how can just a few of the oligarchs, kleptocrats, a few of you are smiling to the bank. Bamu bamu la yo, awo mape baba enikan je, that you are so well fed, you are fat. You are well fed. Your machine is well oiled. That's how some of you go on social media and be showing your houses, the cars, the arrays of cars that can replenish and fund laboratories in universities, in colleges. A single car can pay the tuition of several students, and it's not just 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, can train a great many of Nigerian youths. How dare you people just continue as if nothing is amiss? This outbreak is an expression of the anger of the people against what you are doing. So that also has to be nipped in the bud. You have to stop earning those ridiculous salaries, Very ridiculous. Where in the world Do you find people earning the type of salaries that senators and members of the House of Reps in Nigeria are earning? Where in the world? Even in the democracies that Nigeria copies, whether you're talking of America or you're talking of the United Kingdom. Where? Where does it happen? Now, concerning the demands of the youths, those cannot be swept under the carpet. You must revamp the system to benefit the next generation. This generation and the next generation. We must secure the future of our children and grandchildren. We are old. Let the old brigade begin to repair or step aside. Repair or step aside. If you cannot repair, please step aside. And let us rescue the system. Let people who are, are sound, people who are, who have the genuine heart to turn the country around, let them take hold of the system. Or you appoint them to rescue the country. This cannot go on unless, you want to simply make Nigeria break. If you want Nigeria to still remain Nigeria, this is the wake-up call. This is the wake-up call. This is the wake-up call. I have, some suggestions for nipping in the bud the case of thuggery, vandalism, and all that. Because we cannot say, oh, protests will not occur again until the problems in Nigeria begin to get, meaningful solutions. There will be protests. We cannot, say it's not going to happen. Protests will occur again. Now, to forestall any repeats of the vandalization of private property and government property in the future, the thing to do is to get the hoodlums of the streets. And how do you get hoodlums of the, I'm not saying, oh, that you're going to wave a magic hand and everything will, be perfect. It'll be a gradual process, gradual. But just take the first step and then, everything will begin to fall into place. The quick fix, or well, the way to, to actually heal the society, just one aspect of healing the society is to get those hoodlums or touts or whatever you call them. I believe they are meaningful members of the society. They have their own role, but their bad behavior can be rechanneled to better things. And the way to go about it is to do a holistic intervention. Youths that are educated can be gainfully employed. But those on the streets who are homeless, who are jobless, who have been, like they're on the street for decades, those ones, they need a different type of intervention. It's not about just providing jobs for them. So I propose that, I'm suggesting that government should do a 3R intervention: rescue, rehab, and reintegrate. The rescue will be that in every state where you have all these, because we see them, those who live on the bridges, under bridges, those, who beg for money, as you're driving along the streets in some places, those who happen on you, swoop on you, beg for money and things like that, those are different categories. Those who besiege, parties or areas, where events are, who sing all kinds of praises, they have no job other than to just use all kinds of strategy to get money from people. Those ones, you need to get trucks and actually take them away from the epicenter of cities. Take them away to a cleared location, a new settlement, a kind of rehabilitation center where you have makeshift houses, temporary houses first, because those ones can be set up quickly. If government could do makeshift tents and places where people could be treated for COVID, you can also do this to rescue these people on the streets. First, creates a habitable place in those cleared lands. Clear, expanse of land, areas of land, clear them, and then make of projection to actually have permanent structures, but start with the temporary structures and put them there where they can actually be taken care of. You get medical personnel, mental health workers and things like that, who can take a look at these people and sort of give them immediate attention and develop a program to actually rehabilitate them mentally. Because a lot of people on the streets have mental health issues. A lot of them need to be weaned off, their drugs, need to be weaned off, all kinds of substances that they are taking, and even, drinking problem and all kinds of things. So that center is where they'll be attended to. In the same arena is where you have workshops, where they can actually learn a vocation that can give them a means of livelihood. So those who can farm, you deploy them to farmlands. Those who can learn vocations, carpentry, mechanic, all kinds of things that they can learn. It's high time that Nigeria even started producing, standardized parts for building houses. So such centers can begin to create things that people can buy, so that you stop importing, items from abroad to build your posh houses. So create those centers and train people so that they can be gainfully employed. Yeah, there may be vocation centers, in different places in Nigeria before, but I'm not sure those centers are being effectively used. If they are, then rehabilitate these people and send them there to learn something. That's how you can integrate people, not to just, offer them food. Food is not concrete palliative, it's temporary palliative. A long-lasting palliative is to train the person. The Chinese proverb says, give a man a fish today, you feed that person for a day. But teach a man how to fish, or man, woman, teach a person how to fish, you have fed the person for life. So these people must be rehabilitated, rescued first, rescue them, pick them up in different places, and don't make it like a punitive kind of thing so that people will not show up. But if you say, okay, we want to just simply rescue you and, redirect your, energy to something productive, something that can be beneficial to everybody in this society, they'll be willing to come. And you enroll them. You actually keep a record of these people. You enroll them, you make them, sign register, you take their inventory of, their ages, dates, and even their health records, everything. Do that. And then put them in the rescue center and feed them. Make sure they observe good hygiene. Gradually they'll begin to see sense in, living meaningful life. Meaningful life. Everybody wants to live good life. But if they do not have access to it, how can they do it? How is it possible? So that has to be done. Rescue them, rehabilitate them, work-wise and also health-wise. And then over time, you'll be amazed that these people will be able to migrate and become very, very strong pillars in this society. That's the way to go. That's the way to go, not to be issuing threats, not to be calling them, denigrating names and all that. They will just simply be saying, oh, well, it's like water on the back of a calabash, or water in a wicker, in a basket. You pour it, it will drain out. Does it stick? If you call somebody a thug today, a lout tomorrow, does it make the person change? But if you actually constructively make efforts to change the person, then that's how the society will progress. It's not name calling that will do the trick. And it's not sending abuses, to those who are trying to make the system change. For those of you who are abusing those youths, why are you not abusing the elite, the political elites in Abuja? Why are you not abusing them? Why are you not abusing? Why are you not, calling them out? Why are you not, questioning them? You want to safeguard your own property. Nonsense.